The Bears.
What in the blue was that?
Welcome in, everyone, to Barely Educated, the podcast by Bears fans, for Bears fans. I admit sometimes I'm amazed that there still are Bears fans. And you can't tell, we're here to talk about Bears, Vikings, the choke job at the lake last night. Vikings 27, Bears 24. The Bears just keep being the Bears. I'm Mark. I'm not doing too hot. Chris, as always, is joining me. Chris, how are you?
Yeah, I got it was a kick well, a punch to the gut, let's say that. Last night.
Okay,
And
new world.
usually after sleeping on a Bears loss, I'm like, well, blah 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 blah, this will be better and that. Well, this happened. I feel worse this morning than last night, and that's unusual for me. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to hear what you got to say. I got some notes on last night I want to throw at you and get your take on as well. But yeah, a lot of concerns. A lot of concerns.
I agree. We are off to a super happy, fun start for the dear listener. But thank you to those of you that reached out in the last few days. I just got one message this morning. I'm going to test you with a new falsetto from my high school friend, Jamie.
High school friend Jamie.
There you go. That he said he was looking forward to the episode.
All right.
So here we are. Hopefully we deliver.
Welcome,
some
Jamie.
Much needed catharsis.
Yes, I need catharsis. That's right. I need it.
It's interesting to hear that you're feeling worse the morning after. We usually do like a good, bad, and the ugly thing. I guess we can force that into this game. Good. Defense the first 3 quarters, basically.
Yeah.
I think I'm out. I think that's it.
Okay. Yeah, that was
bad.
fun.
Bad. The coach. He was bad. There, I said it. He made a couple bad decisions. He wasn't good. If we did an average, I might put him in average, but it's good, bad, and ugly, not average. You sissy for a cop out. He was bad. The field goal at the end of the half on 4th and 2 was bad. That's not Ben Johnson, dang it. And it gave them a chance to kick their own field goal. If you get the first, you wind down the clock, and maybe then you kick a field goal, or maybe you get the touchdown. But you lost by 3 points, and you handed them 3 points at the end of the half with that decision. I hated it. Because, again, fundamentally not Ben Johnson. His challenge was iffy. I'm a little confused on the rule, but the knee was clearly down. I just don't know if in the punching the ball, is that going to make a guy down if his knees are down? If you nick his arm, it definitely does. It seems like a iffy challenge, not egregious, but not a great one, and not having the timeout did hurt.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about his coaching, in my opinion, is Cairo Santos is not the guy to kick it out of the end zone in the game. You need to just kick it out of bounds. You don't care if they get the ball in the 40. You care that they have to run a play before the 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
That's not the return. So that got all screwed up. And you either try Torrey Taylor to kick it out of the end zone, love it, or just go ahead and kick it out of bounds because the yards don't matter. It's a 5-yard difference. It does not matter in this situation. The time and the 2-minute warning matter. And so I did not think Ben Johnson was good. Now, I think he did scheme guys open plenty of times. That's the main thing he's here for. So I'm not going to say it was terrible. Like I said, maybe average would be more fair, but not a great debut. He's got, obviously, first game, but have to evaluate the coach. And then ugly is essentially everything. Special teams were horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Williams was pretty stinking bad at playing quarterback in the NFL. The passing game was bad. The running game was bad unless you count Caleb scrambling, which that was what he was good at. I'm not here for that. That's not what I picked him number 1 overall. Okay, we'll come back to Caleb. I thought that's the ugly. The run blocking was ugly, and the penalties, my gosh, were the penalties ever ugly. There's not a lot to like from this game. I mean, we'll try to get to it, but I've told you forever that I'm just going to give you my honest thoughts. And you played a better team close, but you had them beat. And the ugliest thing of all, the thing that sits worse with me this morning is when the Bears missed that field goal, the energy in the room, so to speak, drained out. And the players felt it. And the players tensed up. I felt like it was palatable watching it.
Yeah.
And I don't love that. And that's where Ben's got the most work to do, really. I thought you could see that they all were like, oh, man, we're going to lose the game. And then they went out and did it. They were up 11 in the fourth quarter. You got to win that game.
Yeah. And
we all knew it was going to happen. We've seen 40 of these in the last decade. And that, to me, was the worst part of it in some ways. It's either that or the QB thing. All right, your turn.
Yeah,
Sorry.
all right. I got three notes I want to run by you here. First of all, I thought this was a really bad game for Ryan Poles. We saw the roster shortcomings on full display, especially in regards to both lines. The first half, the defensive line got pressure, but I don't know if it's because they can't rotate more guys in or whatever, but that just went away in the second half. Maybe the Vikings made
it seemed like whenever they tried to
adjustments.
rotate the backup D lineman in, they got gashed in the run.
Okay. Yeah.
So I wonder if they were like, oh, can't do that. And then, I mean, they were tired by the fourth. But I hate that excuse. I get so sick of that. But,
yeah. No, I agree.
Caved under the pressure. I mean, I think the Bears choked that game away. I mean, let's call spade a spade. I know that's harsh, but
no, it's I mean, like you said, double-digit lead in the fourth quarter at home.
Win that game.
At home, you got to win that
against
game.
the rookie.
Against
his first start,
yeah.
And you made him look amazing in the fourth quarter, and now we got to hear about how wonderful he is. I just want to punch his stupid, mean-mugging face. that close. I was like, "It's not. Shut up. You're from the suburbs. It's just like,
LaGrange Park. From LaGrange Park. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll get to him. Yeah. And the run game.
Okay.
There's no. I don't know what DeAndre Swift is doing, but that can't. We cannot have a whole season of that for the running game. So again, that goes back to polls. Why do we not have a better option with running back? Surely there was some guy in the fourth or fifth round, that you could have grabbed that you can, be good for, a couple of years. And maybe that's one guy. Maybe you just got to plug him in there more. But maybe the Vikings are that good against the run defense. But it still just looked like Swift was not going where he was supposed to go when he got the ball, not following blocks.
See, the thing is, there were two really bad ones I can remember that both involved a tight end. And I'm just assuming that's the lead block he's supposed to follow. Beyond that, it didn't seem like there were that many holes to begin with.
Okay.
And they got him lathered up on that one drive, and then they had the egregious holding call that ruined that drive, which was totally not a hold on Darnell Wright, where the guy got pancaked and they said it was holding. It's like, that's a technique where you use their forward momentum against them to push them down. It's a valid play.
Yeah.
So that was horrible. That derailed the drive, and this offense just remains, as it always is with the Bears, not good enough to overcome those kinds.
Right.
But yeah, the running game stunk overall.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a bell cow back. He's great in space, and they use him like a bell cow because they are bad at evaluating a roster.
Yeah, they have no other option. They have no other option. Rashawn Johnson was
the GM chose to be that way.
Right. So bad game for Ryan Poles, and he just got an extension, so we're kind of stuck with.
We just hope Ben's in charge and that Ben looks better as we move forward and gives you some confidence. Yep.
Exactly, but I don't know if the Lions are going to look much better than what we saw last night. And for the most part, the absence of Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, T.J. Edwards wasn't felt that first half, I don't think.
Which is fairly remarkable.
Yeah. But
I think you can make a case that was their three best players last year.
Oh, yes. Those are their three best defensive players. And it's a problem that none of their best defensive players are on the line. That's a big problem. Montez Sweat is fine, but he's not great. He may not be good. He's fine.
He's not worth what he's being paid. the
No.
current version of him, but maybe that'll change.
Yeah. So
That's
Dennis,
the theme, right? So that's the problem. Like we're gonna say 20 times in the next 40 minutes. Maybe that will change. Maybe that will improve. Maybe it will click for the quarterback. Maybe. Can we just not suck finally? How long do we got to wait for this rebuild?
yeah, we're in year 4 of the rebuild, right? Since Poles took over, yeah,
Yep.
very nice. Still some of the you were an offensive lineman, and you came from Kansas City, and you said, "Don't forget where I came from." How about you don't forget where you
Oh,
came from?
yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Point number 2. I have never really been concerned with Caleb's deep ball accuracy until last night. Because last night it was awful. Even when the Bears were winning and he was scrambling to make plays and he was throwing better than he did in the second half, something still just didn't look quite right. And then in the second half, he's overthrowing people, especially those last couple drives. He misses DJ Moore, which would have been a touchdown down the far sideline. He overthrew Komet. Komet made an amazing catch on what was an overthrown ball, and I just don't remember seeing him that inaccurate before. Am I wrong with that, or
Technically, yes. He
okay,
had the
great.
most inaccurate season in the last 30 years last year on throws over 20 yards. That's
Okay.
demonstrable data. He was horrible at it last year. And we all chalked it up to the coaching and the mess that was the
Yes,
offense.
yes, I
Which
certainly did. Yes.
that's another thing I want to mention. We'll come back to accuracy for sure. What's the expiration date on his coaches sucked last year as an excuse? We
I'm
give him
giving.
till the bye. We give him till week 10. Has he got till next game? Because I'm already kind of tired of falling back on that. It's time to put up or shut up on some of this.
My original thought was week 3. If we're still seeing the same problems in week 3, then I'm concerned.
Sure. I mean, the week maybe doesn't matter, but my simple point is at some point, that's just not going to hold water.
Sure. Yeah.
So the inaccuracy is a huge problem. It's the hugest problem. They are not going to be a winning football team if the quarterback is this inaccurate. He is on the on-ramp to the highway to Bustville if he doesn't finish to fix his accuracy. I need him to take a U-turn ASAP. Guys, it's worse than you think.
They bust out Caleb Williams. That's just unbelievable.
Unbelievable. But the inaccuracy is dreadful. He's inaccurate every game. He's the only person that throws the ball. Like you can team up a chip block to help the left tackle. The QB just has to do better. I'm sorry, he does. He was minus 13% in completion percent over expected. So league average quarterback would complete it. He was 13% under that number. Tied for dead last in week 1 with every Bears fan's favorite whipping boy, Bryce Young. That's the company we're keeping. Just below Russell Wilson and Cam Ward.
Oh, no.
Patrick Mahomes actually the 5th worst, so that's kind of interesting.
Oh, that is interesting.
But
wow.
We are stacking conditionals to try to feel better about some of this stuff. Like, well, maybe it's week 1 weirdness. Maybe it's residue from last year. Maybe it'll get better with Ben. And, he's learning a new playbook. There are some valid thoughts in some of them. And we saw the electric playmaking a couple times. Saw him use his legs really well, more than last year already. That he's the number 1 pick to throw the ball down the field. And it was not acceptable last night from an accuracy.
No.
It just wasn't. And it's got to get better or he's not going to pan out. That is not a final analysis or prediction. It's just the reality is it's got to get better.
Yeah, I loved that scramble to the near sideline and he just drilled it to, I think it was Rome in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was probably the highlight of the game.
That was amazing, great play. It's like, oh yeah, that's why he's the number 1 pick. That's wonderful, but hitting the layups consistently are far more important than those spectacular plays. I mean, Mahomes is great because he can do the regular stuff and then be Superman when necessary. We can't
And you
win
can't
with
miss that fourth down throw.
yes.
Can't miss that throw
Yep.
and win games consistently. And
Hmm.
he looked jittery in the pocket.
Yes. More than last year.
Yeah, he did a nice job escaping. To me, it looked
Fine.
like single read and then I'm lost. Like
Yeah.
first read and then I'm lost. I'm worried about the quarterback IQ. I'm not calling him dumb beyond that. I'm just talking about what the process that quarterbacks go through. It still looks really, really weird. And again, maybe that's new playbook stuff. Maybe Ben will figure out some tricks to help. They got to coach him up. It's not there as of last night. It was clunky. The stat line is a little misleading because if you add the rushing and the passing and a couple touchdowns and no turnovers and a few sacks, you're like, oh, that doesn't look that bad.
Right.
But he left like 150 yards on the field and a four at least. Maybe two.
That's
And
that's
it's like, man, that's the inefficiency is dreadfully.
that's where the eye test comes in, my friend. Because if you compare the stats, like if you just look at the stats, like you said, you think, oh, okay, he got it. He ran a touchdown, threw a touchdown, didn't turn the ball over. What do you have, like 200 something yards? Like, okay, those are all good numbers, but if you actually watched what was happening, it was not good. Yeah,
I want to read this from Kristen Tanis. Great follow on Twitter.
yeah, she's good.
She writes these huge essays. I'm only going to read one chunk because otherwise it'll be the rest of the pod.
Okay.
But she's great. When asked about the inaccuracy in the presser, Caleb's response was, quote, "This just happens sometimes in games. We just need to reel it back in and execute." And she continues, we just heard that. He's not wrong. It happens to every QB, but it doesn't happen as often as it does to him
Hmm.
every game. The nonchalance of that just happened is a red flag.
Hmm.
Don't love his answer. I'm with her. I really don't love it. She goes on to say, I would have felt a lot better if his response was something like, "That's on me. I got to execute better. Here's what I need to do to throw better passes." I mean, I don't think he's going to get that granular personally, but calm down and play the position. Like, he says he doesn't feel nerves. That is so not true.
Yeah,
These
that's
deep breaths coming in and out of the huddle, as cousin Nate
doesn't it?
pointed out. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of nervous body language. He says he
Mhm.
doesn't feel nervous. Nonsense. He gets too amped, which is a nervous response.
Right. Well, I think the overthrows in the fourth quarter are a huge indication of that, of being way too amped or not being able to control the adrenaline or something like that. Yeah, he's not in control. Not in
And I'm
control.
not I'm not out on Caleb. I'm not ready to move on. He hasn't had his Bills preseason moment that Fields had where he didn't recognize single coverage and kept taking sacks. That was the moment I was like, it's not gonna work. It's still year two, game one, but you're not concerned. I don't I either think you don't really want to face the facts or you don't watch other teams enough to know what it should because guys, that ain't it. He's got plenty of time. You probably should give him the whole year, frankly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's going to be accelerated because of the perception of the playmakers around him. I don't think
Yeah.
he's getting 4 years if it keeps looking like. And I love him. I want him to play well, and I will defend him tooth and nail on the off-field stuff that he gets attacked for. But I will also analyze his play and say that was definitely subpar, and he's the biggest reason they lost. The next biggest reason they lost, in my opinion, sour grapes, officiating.
Is what?
Officiating.
Oh, officiating. Yeah.
Good
There were
teams overcome it. What's not the Bears? Though.
right. Yes. Yeah.
Two pass interference plays that lead to points for the Vikings, and the holding call on Darnell Wright that took away an opportunity for points for them. Yes, you should overcome it. They're not good enough to. Those all the biggest calls went against the Bears, and
Yeah.
3 of them were terrible. The first interference is an underthrown ball. The league needs to do
Oh, I
something
hate
about
that.
that rule.
I
At
hate
least
that.
don't make it a spot foul, as composer Chris pointed out in the game thread.
Was that me? Really? I said
That was
something
you.
that.
Yeah, that was you. You said,
I,
"Hey, make it like college. It shouldn't be
oh,
a
I
spot
did say
foul."
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
because you
plenty of
can't
finer
assume the
moments.
catch.
Exactly. They're not. There's no way he's catching that.
Yeah. It's like in baseball. You can't assume a double play so you don't get an error if there's
Like,
a.
should the coaching point for DBs start being just go ahead and turn around and see if you can just
Yes!
grab a pick and stop running
Apparently,
with them? And if
apparently
they
it should.
manage to hit him in stride and score, so be it. Because I feel like, other than the elite QBs, most of the rest of them overthrow those for DPI.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's DPI more than it's completed league wide.
That'd be an interesting study. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody do that.
Get on
Okay,
that.
and then the one where I can't remember, was it Naylor? Whichever receiver it was fell, and Stevenson kind of stumbles into him because he
Oh,
fell. It's like, come on, what's he supposed to do?
yeah.
I am not above critiquing
And
29.
kudos to Joe and Troy for calling those
They
out
called him
too.
out.
I thought they had a great game last night. I'm not a
They
big
did.
Joe Buck fan usually, but I thought he was really good. I thought Troy was
Buck's been
fantastic.
great for years. I mean, I get that he was overexposed for a while, but I think he's been terrific the last couple of years. And the new Aikman, where he doesn't care about
Yes.
stepping on toes, is a great listen.
Yes.
That broadcast is pretty darn good.
I admit that Joe Buck has some Cardinal stank that's hard for me to get over.
Yeah, well, sorry. I like it.
All right,
But
here's my third point. Can I give you my third point?
yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
I
no,
keep
no,
cutting
that's
you off. I
good.
thought you
That's
were done
good.
with the three.
It's a dialogue. That's okay. That's okay. This might be the
Fair
most
enough.
concerning. Okay, I'll just read. I wrote a stream of consciousness here. It's just a short paragraph, though.
That's the hot take.
J.J. McCarthy's best was better than Caleb's best. He looked like a rookie when the Bears were getting pressure, but once that went away in the second half, he looked pretty darn good. When Caleb had time in the first half, yeah, it was better than the second half, but never looked quite right or assertive. Lot of problems there. JJ McCarthy should not have looked better than Caleb at any point last night. And
Right.
the first half he looked worse. He looked horrible. But
They
then
rallied. Great coaching job by O'Connell. Man, that guy can coach.
yeah, he sure can. He sure can.
Caleb also had the second highest time to throw in the league
Oh,
at
yikes.
3.39. Big backslide from the preseason. He looked for all the world like a super athlete that doesn't have a great quarterback NFL level IQ right now. He was doing backyard football.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. I can promise you, there's no way this is what Ben Johnson wants him doing.
Oh no. No. I'd love to know what he was thinking last night too.
Oh, he'll probably tell us in some way, shape, or form before too long.
Yeah, I heard just a few seconds of his press conference last night. It was in regards to the Santos kickoff, and you could tell that he was upset that like he thought Santos, like the plan was he kicks it out through the end zone, and the fact that it didn't happen, you could tell he was a little miffed. Now that's on him because he's got to know what his players can do, but.
Well, they didn't execute it, but he should have known better than to think Santos could do it.
Does he have the weakest leg in the league now?
So it's one of the worst too, right? Got to be. It's like him and Koo. He had a bad game also.
Yes,
All
he
right,
did.
I mean, we could talk about Caleb forever because
Yeah.
it's like everything else is window dressing. If the QB is going to leave that many yards and points on the field, you're in trouble. And we can talk about why that happened, but I think it's another comfortable, familiar, icky Bears fan feeling to say, well, maybe it'll improve as the season goes. I want something much more concrete than that. I need a couple games where it's like, there, that's it, there. It's discouraging. It's just the truth. But some other things that were good that we kind of lumped into with the defense. Dio looked way better than he did in the preseason.
Yes.
Uganda, not really doing that much in the preseason. Sewell had a really nice game coming in, filling
Yeah.
in for an injured starter. He was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the lines of scrimmage held up for a decent chunk of the game against the superior Vikings squad. We should probably remember that they did win 14 games.
Yeah.
And hopefully some of this with Caleb was going up against the Brian Flores defense and just confusing him. But Ben always had answers with Goff.
Yes, he did.
So I don't know.
Yeah. It's yeah. Well, I think that's all I got. And
But
I'm ready.
the Bears lost by 3 to a team that won 14 games. If you're looking for the silver lining, I'm not, but
Not when you're up
I'm
by
just trying to
11.
cover all the bases here. What's that?
Not when you were up by 11.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just,
Oh,
I'm not doing Bears enlightenment and Bears nihilism yet. Too early, but it sure felt familiar. Didn't we
yeah.
all know they were losing the game after the missed field goal? We all
Mm.
knew. Like, well, that's a wrap.
There was definitely a tremor in the force. Yes.
So, I mean, we go to Detroit Sunday. Bears. Not me.
Yeah, I'm worried about that game now. Not I wasn't
Yeah,
worried before, and I didn't think they would necessarily win or not. But uh,
you sure feel different going up there 1-0.
yeah, and Detroit's going to be ticked after how they performed against Green Bay. Oh, Green Bay! Gosh, they
Yeah,
looked really good. Anyway,
the front seven is great. They're going to be great.
unfortunately,
Their defense, because their weakness is corners, and they're not going to matter as much with how
that's
good their
right. That's right. Yep.
they'll get beat a couple times a game or whatever, but they'll make enough plays on the other side of that they'll be fine.
Yeah, Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery could not run. That
And 10
was
catches for 30 yards for Gibbs. I would love to face that game plan Sunday.
catches for 30 yards. Oh my
OC looked in
gosh.
over his head, but for first game, week 1, who knows? Now you go Detroit, home for Dallas, on the road for a feisty Vegas team, especially if Bowers is healthy. They could be 0-4. It's possible.
Whew.
The quarterback play and the penalties flop, even if you get rid of the unfair ones, there's still 9 penalties. I took 3 out and it still almost hits double digits.
And the same ones too. The pre-snap
And none of the
especially.
rest were bogus. The rest were all, I think,
Yeah.
pretty legit. Maybe one roughing the passer is iffy, but okay, so there's 8 penalties. That's still way too many.
Yeah,
And so many of them pre-snap. It's hard to think with those two realities that they beat any of these.
yeah.
But Caleb could definitely play better. That's of course still possible. It's just,
Yeah.
man, I need to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the fact that Caleb had seemingly steps back last night was very disappointing and concerning. Yeah.
And the win would have felt better, but I still would have had concerns coming out.
Yeah, and that's one thing that
Unless the win is because he hits 2 of those throws. But if they won because of the field goals or something, you'd still have some. It would have been a little better, but you'd still.
yeah. Yeah, it would have masked some of these deeper issues, so, to some extent.
Another
right.
question I have as
Yeah.
we move forward. Last thing, how does a Ben Johnson offense function if the running game is bad?
Yeah,
Question.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I started with polls, and that it was such a bad game for him because you do not have a running back. You don't have a Gibbs or a Montgomery that Johnson had in Detroit, and you certainly don't have an offensive line like you had in Detroit.
He signed Swift, which was just bad scouting because he's good in space and bad.
Yep.
And otherwise, he's largely ignored it all. The mid-round pick and the late-round pick. Justin Fields masked the rushing issues
He did.
in his time here.
He did.
I mean,
Yep.
this is just like left tackle and D lines. Like we sort of address it, but we don't ever get it fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And they lack stars while we're on full.
Yep.
Jalen's the closest we have.
All right, I'm going to wrap it up before Zoom kicks us off. Thanks for listening to our post game here. We'll check in around the before the Lions game and get some thoughts out for that. Hang in there, Bears fans. It might get better, but it might not. All right, bear down.
And that's a real shame.
I am depressed.
Something very familiar about all this.
Now what?
Love the Bears.